Sa loob, sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng buwela. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, Katipunero sugod, todo sa kayod, tulong at tulog. Lipat na Blue Eagle, kaning giting nagigil. Blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan.
Keep the Word of God strong in our lives. Keep the spirit of hope and the grace of healing alive every day. Keep the faith. Join us every morning for the celebration of the Holy Eucharist with the Jesuits from the Philippine province. Keep the faith. Daily Mass with the Jesuits streams from Monday to Sunday at 8 o'clock in the morning on Radyo Katipunan's Facebook page, YouTube channel, Twitter feed, and other social media partners.
Jesuit Music Ministry, your daily dose of inspiration. Follow JustCom PH on Spotify and JustCom Music on YouTube. We are also on iTunes and Deezer.
Listen to songs and artists you didn't know you'd like. This is the Indie List on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
The Jesuit Hour. Get to know the Jesuits. Discover their spirituality, their history, their ministries. The Jesuit Hour. Anything Jesuit, everything Jesuit. The Jesuit Hour. Follow at Radyo Katipunan in our social media accounts on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter.
Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Manzano, radyo, Katipunan. Manzano, Katipunan. Radyo, radyo, Katipunan.
Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM.
Listen to music that uplifts the soul from the library of the Jesuit Music Ministry. This is the JMM Playlist on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
JustCom Music Ministry. Music that uplifts the soul. Follow JustCom PH on Spotify and JustCom Music on YouTube. We are also on iTunes and Deezer.
Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. OFW Eagle kami, di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay atin misna, sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng eskwela. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, Katipunero sugo, todo sa kayod, punong at tulong. Lipad na Blue Eagle, galing hiting at tigil, blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan.
Susunod na ang Tatakalikasan sa Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. Tara na't simulan ang inyong umaga sa mga magagandang refleksyon tungkol sa ating buhay at pananampalataya. Kasama sina Father J. Boy Gonzales at Father Nono Alfonso ng Kapisanan ni Jesus, Binibining Risa Singson Kaupeng ng Feast Magazine, Father Fiel Pareha mula sa Archdiocese ng San Fernando, Pampanga, at Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle. Dito sa Kapet Pandasal sa Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
Huwag magsinungaling sa paghingi. Be-blessed tuwing Webes, ako po si Father Fiel Pareha ng Santo Rosario Parish, Magalang, Pampanga. Tara po at magkapit pandasal na tayo. Kapag tayo ay lumalapit sa iba upang humingi, tayo ba ay nagiging tapat sa kung ano ang ating kailangan? Walang dagdag bawas, dapat ay totoo at tama. Ang bata kung humingi sa kanyang magulang, direkta niyang sinasabi kung ano, magkano at papaano. Samantalang ang ilan sa mga matatanda kapag humihingi, nakabatay sa personal na interes. Ngayong panahon ng Kwaresma, tayo ay pinapaalalahanan na huwag magsawang humingi sa Panginoon. Ngunit hindi lamang basta paghingi, isang paghingi na totoo. Kung ano ang tunay mong kailangan, sabihin mo. Nagwika si Jesus, humingi kayo at kayo'y bibigyan. Humanap kayo at kayo'y makakatagpo. Kumatok kayo at kayo'y pagbubuksan. Sapagkat ang bawat humihingi ay tatanggap, ang bawat humahanap ay makakatagpo, at ang bawat kumakatok ay pagbubuksan. Tayo ay binibiyayaan sapagkat atin itong kailangan. Kung may ipinapagawa sa atin ng Diyos at alam mong may kailangang ihingi para may sa katuparan ng misyong ito, lumapit ka at humingi. Kung may pangangailangan sa pamilya, sa trabaho, pag-aaral at sarili, lumapit at ipaabot ng tunay ang iyong nais. Sa ganitong paraan, naipapahayag natin ang pagkadakila ng Panginoon bilang bukal ng lahat ng pagpapala at naipapamalas din natin na siya ay isang tunay na amang mapagmahal at mapagkalinga. Manalangin tayo. Panginoon, ipagkaloob po ninyo ang lahat ng aming kinakailangan sa buhay, kung ito man ay naayon sa banal mong kalooban. Amen.
Radyo, 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 Katipunan, Radyo, Katipunan, Radyo, Katipunan, Radyo, Radyo, Katipunan, Radyo, Katipunan. Sa Blue Eagle kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay atin isla, sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng kwela. Radyo, 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 Katipunan, Radyo, 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 Katipunan. radyo, katipunero, sugod, todo sa kayod, dunong at tulog, lipat na Blue Eagle, galing giting nagigil, blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, 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 katipunan, radyo, 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 katipunan, radyo, katipunan,
Lamig, init, ulan, hangin, kumakalingang kalikasan. Ating alagaan at ingatan. Kumusta na ang ating kalikasan? Pag-usapan natin ang kalagayan ng mundo at kung paano tayo makatutulong sa pagkalinga sa ating tahanan. Kasama sina Father J.M. Manzano ng Kapisanan ni Jesus at si Dr. Rotor. Ito ang Tatakalikasan sa Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
Magandang umaga po muli sa ating lahat at welcome po sa ating programang Tatakalikasan. Tayo po muna ay mag-alay ng panalangin. Mula sa sinulat na kanta ni Joey Ayala na pinamagatang Walang Ibang Sadya. Aanhin ang mata kung walang mapagmasdang sayaw sa indayog ng talahiban. Aanhin ang tainga kung hindi mapakinggan ang awit ng hangin sa punong kahoy. Aanhin ang labi kung di madampian ng ulan o di kaya'y mahagkan ng ilog. Pagmasdan, pakinggan, lasapin ang mundo. Walang ibang sadya ang ayos nito. Panginoon, maraming salamat po sa espesyal na pagkakataong ito na ginawa po ninyo. Itong lahat at sa ayos ng sang tinakpan, walang ibang sadya kundi ang ipadama mo ang pag-ibig mo para sa amin. Magmasid, magtaka, matuto, may isip, puso't diwa ang kalikasan. Katipunang tahanan, katipunang tatak, kalikasan, radyo, tatak. Ako po ang inyong lingkod, Father J.M. Manzano ng Kapisanan ni Jesus.
At ako naman si Kaabe, Dr. Abe Rotor, dating profesor ng UST, de La Salle. At nandito ako ngayon sa Ilocos Region, 2 kilometers west of Bigan. Binabati ko kayo lahat ng magandang umaga, lalo-lalo sa mga bisita natin sa episode nito. Good morning sa inyo.
Magandang umaga po. Ako po si Pauline Bautista na nagtuturo ng Integral Ecology sa Loyola School of Theology.
Okay, so I shift to speaking in English because so good morning Doc Abe and Miss Pauline. So and good morning to all our Tatakalikasan listeners. So we officially and happily welcome our very special guests from our neighbor, the country of Indonesia, no, specifically in the Komodo Islands, no. So we welcome Pak Hendrikus Rani Siga. Good morning, selamat pagi, Pak Hendrikus.
Good morning, selamat pagi.
Thank you
Ladies
very
and
much.
gentlemen.
Thank you very much. Terima kasih banyak, no. Thank you for your presence, no, to be with us here in the Philippines.
Yeah,
no?
you're
So
welcome.
thank you. And yes, you have also a companion. Maybe you can also introduce yourself. Selamat pagi.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, good
Yeah, good morning, everybody. My name is Hendrikus Rani Siga. I'm a head of Komodo National Park since 2 years ago. I'm a head of Komodo National Park. I don't know until when I will finish my job as a head of Komodo National Park. Uh, Thank you.
All right. So, Pak Hendrikus, we chose to feature, to showcase the Komodo dragons because just last week you celebrated there in Komodo Island, the celebration, the Komodo Dragon National Park Day. Am I correct?
Anniversary. Yeah. Yeah. 45 years old, Komodo National Park anniversary at 6 March.
All right. Yes. Hello, sir. Yeah.
Okay. I'm so sorry because my English is not really good. I try to explain. I try to catch what are we talking about? Yeah.
Okay. So perhaps Pak Hendrikus, no, just for the information of all our listeners, no, just the basic information about the status of Komodo dragons, no. How are the Komodo dragons now faring, no? Perhaps in the IUCN, no, I did a little research, no, in the International Union for Conservation of Nature, no, red list. So the Komodo dragon is there as an endangered species already. Is that correct, Pak Hendrikus?
Yeah, that's correct because the population of Komodo dragon is very, very limited, only in Komodo National Park and several parks Flores Island. So the population very limited, only in Komodo National Park.
When we are talking about the Komodo National Park, no, specifically what island are we talking about, Pak Hendrikos, no? Is it just one island or a group of islands, no?
Kalau mengenal komodo itu di pulau mana saja?
Oh yeah. Komodo National Park actually consists of three big islands. There is Komodo Dragon there. It's a Komodo Island, Rinka Island, and Padar Island. And we have two small islands in the park. There's a Komodo there. It's a Gilimotang Island and Nusakore Islands. So totally, we have 5 islands in the park. There is a Komodo dragon there, and the population about more than 3,000. According the Komodo monitoring last year, yeah, more than 3,000 population Komodo dragon in the park.
Okay. So, and these creatures, no, these Komodo dragons are only found, no, are only found here in these 5 islands, no, that you have stated, no, nowhere else in the world, no, could you find a Komodo dragon. So only in these 5 islands.
Yeah, that's right. In Komodo National Park, that's true. That's right. But actually, naturally, we have island outside of the park in Flores Island, northern part of northern and western part of Flores Island. There's a Komodo dragon.
Father
Very,
Jem.
very close island, very close between Komodo National Park and Flores Island.
Okay,
Yes.
Doc Abe.
Yes, we are learning about the Komodo dragon, and our knowledge is very limited, especially because the Komodo dragon is found only in Indonesia, although it originated in Australia. Now, in Australia, you don't find Komodo dragons anymore. But what is the Komodo dragon? To our general audience, it looks like the bayawak. In Ilocano, we call it banyas or the monitor lizard. Now imagine the monitor lizard enlarged 5 to 10 times, and that's how big the Komodo dragon is. But for me, whenever I hear the word dragon, 2 things come to my mind. One is the dinosaur, and the other is the reptiles, the crocodiles. So what would be the differences between and among the 3? The dinosaurs, the crocodiles, and the dragons. And there is a 4th one, the mythical dragon, which we read in Greek mythology and also in mythologies in the Orient, and even in ancient past. The dragon is part of our religious belief also. So this episode is something that is very informative to our readership. But the common denominator is that when we talk of the crocodile, when we talk of the Komodo dragon, we talk of possible extinction unless we do something now to conserve this endangered species. And we will be discussing how can the ordinary citizen help in conserving our wildlife, animals, and also other creatures, including plants. Father Jem.
Yes, thank you, Doc Abe, for giving us that overview, no, of these reptiles, no, or how we call the butiki, no, the bayawak, and I think Pak Hendrikus understand, no, bayawak. Maybe they also call it in the same way, bayawak, no, the lizards. So yes, Pauline.
Yes, Mr. Siga, I always ask questions for the parents so that they can learn something from our guests about ecology. So I would like to ask you, what is a simple way for parents to explain to children the uniqueness of the Komodo dragon compared to other reptiles? Very simple way to understand and appreciate them.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Abe and Mrs. Pauline. I tried to explain about the differences between Komodo dragon and biawak. It's we can what's called here. We can see the morphology of Komodo dragon and biawak. It's very, yeah, we can say totally different. Well, because biawak is for the adult, it's smaller than Komodo dragon. For the adult, if we compare between Komodo dragon adult and the biawak adult, totally different, because Komodo dragon, the length until sometimes more than 3 meters. But the biawak's not in meters. And then, yeah, and the biawaks is not danger like Komodo dragon, because Komodo dragon is very, very dangerous. Yeah, can attack people when they stand close, and then so the visitors will be careful when they go to Komodo National Park. Yeah, have to keep what's called keep jarak. Yeah, safe distance. Yeah, keep distance from the Komodo dragon. But biawak is not really danger, not like Komodo dragon. And the third is what's called the bentuk apa? Shape, yeah. The shape of their heads is Komodo dragon a little bit more bigger, and then the what's called the biawaks more lancip. It's more small. Yeah, it's like but so the differentiation between Komodo dragon and the biawak. Yeah, I tried to explain, but I hope it's clear.
Yes, I think so. I think we can appreciate the differences between the Komodo dragon and our very own bayawak. Thank you, Mr. Siga.
Yes,
And as you know that Komodo dragon is the largest lizard on Earth, and growing up to 3 meters long, and then the weighing up to 100 kilograms. So, and then biawak is spread everywhere, but Komodo dragon endemic to Indonesia, and very or highly restricted natural range, and found only in 5 islands in Komodo National Park, and small part of Flores Island. And then, as I said before, that they are deadly predator, yeah, and they have bacterium in their saliva and venomous bite, yeah, and then and very wild, and is one of the most formidable predators. Yeah, I
Okay.
think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doc Abe?
Father Jem, I'll try to summarize what our guest, Sir Siga, mentioned, and we will proceed with more about the Komodo dragon for the guidance of our listeners. One, Sir Siga said Komodo dragons are found only in one country, Indonesia, and may be found in 4 or 5 islands, mainly in Komodo. The scientific name of the Komodo lizard is Komodo lizard is
Paranus komodoensis, Doctor.
yes, and the family is Baranidae.
Faranidae, yeah,
And
Faranidae.
there are 50 to 60 species in the genus, but there's only one Komodo dragon species. Then number 3, our guest mentioned the Komodo dragon is the largest living lizard in the world. So imagine how big it is. He mentioned about 3 meters, 3 meters long, and the tail is as long as the body. And you know, the tail is a weapon that they use in subduing their prey. One move would be a slash and would paralyze and immobilize their prey. Another one is it's hard to tell the male from the female apart, although the male is a little bigger, but it's very hard. And that the Komodo dragon, they are predators, and they eat also the bodies, carrion or the bodies of dead animals. But they seldom waste their food. They consume practically all edible parts of their prey. 88%, including bones, hides, and intestines. Number 7, they can grow 4 or 5 sets of teeth in their lifetime. Just imagine that they do not need postizo because automatically they regrow their teeth. And there are 60 razor sharp teeth. 60. You can imagine the damage it can cause. Just one bite. Number 8, Komodo dragons are venomous. There is even a study that the saliva of the Komodo dragon contains bacteria that can lead to infection of their prey. If their prey may survive, they will succumb to the infection caused by the saliva of the Komodo dragon. Of course, this is subject to further research. Number 9, they are also carnivorous. They eat the younger and smaller Komodo dragons. That's why the small Komodo dragons, on hatching, they find refuge by climbing onto trees and they stay there to protect themselves from their own kind. Can you imagine that? Then number 10, and this is something that amazes us. They have excellent sense of smell. And they smell with their tongue. Their tongue is forked, split. And they can detect miles away their food, whether live or dead. Then number 11, they move fast. They are agile and they can adapt to certain conditions, and that's why they can live on the beach, they can live on the forest and many other habitats. Then number 12, they can also swim. Not only that they move fast on land, but they are excellent swimmers. Number 13, even though they can run, they prefer to use stealth-based hunting They are quiet as observing until the time comes when they charge and catch their prey. Their prey may be a deer or maybe a wild boar or maybe humans, but very, very seldom they fear humans. They are afraid of humans unless we befriend them too much, too close, and we may become a victim. Number 14, they have permanent suit of armor, and their bodies, their skin has thousands of tiny bones called osteoderms, hard deposits on their skin. For a lifetime, you can imagine how rough. You can use their skin as papel de lija, sandpaper. Of course, I added that exaggeration. Number 15, they are the smartest among lizards, and they exhibit curiosity and playfulness, and they have observed in some zoos when they are kept that they learn to recognize their keepers, their friends. Number 16, and this is quite unique, they can reproduce asexually. They call this parthenogenesis without the benefit of male and female union. A female can give birth without the male. We call this parthenogenesis. The only question is that the offspring is a male, never a female. And if you would like to reproduce or to expand the number of Komodo dragons in the zoo, you might come up only with the production of male Komodo dragons, and that would defeat the purpose of multiplying them. Then number 17, I'm sorry, sir, Siga, I'll just supply your information in this outline. The Komodo dragon inspired King Kong, the King Kong movies. Of course, it looked like a dinosaur, but
Oh, thank you.
actually
Yeah.
it was
All
the Komodo dragon model. Number 18, they seldom attack humans, contrary to fear. Of course, you are afraid of the Komodo dragon. Number 19, this is now a big threat. Climate change is a major threat to the survival of the Komodo dragon. And we estimate that 71% loss of Komodo dragon by year 2050. So we'll be losing almost 60 to 70% of the present Komodo dragon unless we do something now. Well, I just added information, Sir Siga and Ma'am Pauline. Father JM.
Yes. Thank you very much, Doc Abe, for that very, very comprehensive summary of the nature of our brother and sister Komodo dragons. No? So, Sir Hendrikus, no? Would you like to say a comment?
Yeah, thank you so much for Dr. Abe. He explained so details about the Komodo dragon. So, as an expert of Komodo dragon, I'm very appreciated. Yeah, because we only manage, but it's not deeply to what's called research about the Komodo dragon. And actually, we have scientists from USA and from Italia. They have research. They conduct research in Komodo National Park, and we have many literature about the Komodo dragon. Thank you, Dr. Abe. It's a very detailed explanation.
Yes,
Yes.
Sir Siga, it's a pleasure, sir. Now I will
Okay.
ask, nature has its own bioengineering. When I was I was a child, I used to see house lizards, butike. Sometimes we find them losing their tail, yung buntot. Then after some days, maybe 2 weeks, we find that the lost tail regenerates. And sooner or later, you have a new tail of the house lizard. Is this also true with the Komodo dragon? That when the Komodo dragon loses part of its tail, that missing part will regenerate, Sir Siga? Maybe,
Uh,
Father
there's
Jem, there's a
what's
problem sa linya natin.
uh, but, yeah, it's not core in Komodo dragons, the tails loose, something like that. It's yeah, because when they bite again, not the tails.
So it does not regrow. So when the tail is
The-
cut, it does not regrow.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Unlike
that's
the
right.
butiki, unlike the common
Unlike the
lizard.
gecko lizard, and
Yeah,
also
gecko
yung
lizard is different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
skink, or the so-called, anong
Mhm.
Tagalog, Pauline, ng skink lizard? Bubuli. When the tail is cut, later on you will find a new tail growing back. And sooner or later you will see this skink running across across your backyard or garden.
Okay. So thank you. Thank you. Perhaps at this point, back Hendrikus, Rani Siga, no, we would like to know more about the Komodo Dragon National Park, because I read up on the website that the number of tourists has been increasing. No, the number of tourists. So that means the Komodo dragons, even if these are very, very dangerous animals, they are becoming more and more popular, so to speak. Now, what's the advantage or the disadvantage of this increasing number of tourists? No, those who are going to the Komodo Dragon National Park, Hendrikus. Hello. Yeah.
Yeah. It's yeah. The impact of tourism on Komodo dragons, yeah, the positive effect is uh, increase public awareness of Komodo conservation, yeah. and and the number of visitors uh, each year is increased and significantly, and uh, now the flight directly from Malaysia and Singapore directly to Labuan Bajo, the town very close to the Komodo National Park, as a gateway to Komodo National Park. And you know, the but not only positive effect, but we we face negative effect on Komodo dragon too. What's because it's those exposed to high human activity, especially in tourist area, uh, become more habituated to people. And our studies show they exhibit reduce awareness and indicating change in natural behavior. And other negative effects on the habitat is a higher visitors number, put more pressure on both land and marine ecosystem. So can affect site carrying capacity and increasing waste pollutions. So that is the impact of the tourism on Komodo dragon. I, I think enough.
Okay, so thank you for that. No, so you have cited most especially those negative impacts. No, so it's good that more and more tourists who go there are well informed about conservation practices. No, not only for Komodo dragons but for other creatures. No, but there are always negative impacts. No, and these are human disturbance most especially. So I saw in your website also that the entire Komodo National Park, no, only 2% is open to tourists, so to speak. No, only 2%, because the goal of that is
Yeah,
actually to protect
yeah,
them from human interference.
yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Uh,
Uh, yeah, we enforce strict regulation to separate human activities from wilderness zone. So the national park is managed through a zonation system, including areas for high tourism activities, tourists interested, and fully protected zone where no human activity is allowed. So of the parks, 173 1,300 hectares, 55% is designed for terrestrial and marine conservation, while 45% is allocated for human activities, including local communities, traditional fishing, and cultural practices and sustainable use of non-wood forest products, as well as tourism. And in 2020, we enhanced tourism facilities to minimize human impact on Komodo dragons. Then we also work closely with local guides from village within the park. We call them naturalist guides to help to help us to ensure tourism activities align with conservation goals. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Miss Pauline has a
yes.
question to ask.
Yes, sir, it looks like one of the dangers of uh against the Komodo dragon would be humans, right? One off. And so what can parents and children learn so that they can help to protect and preserve the Komodo dragon for many more generations to come, since it's been around for a lot of what, millenniums or centuries?
Yeah.
maybe Father JM, I can cite some ways by which the general public can help in the conservation of wildlife, including, of course, the Komodo dragon. And these are some of the activities listed down during the celebrations of such significant events like March 6, Komodo Dragon Day, March 6, International Day of the Forest, March 21, Earth Day, April 22, Endangered Species Day, May 17, International Day of Zero Waste, March 30, and the United Nations World Wildlife Conservation Day. This is usually towards the end of the year. So we have many celebrations in order to create more and more awareness for each one of us citizens to help in the conservation of wildlife. One is nature walk. Explore the local habitats, observe wildlife, and learn about their ecosystems. This is what Sir Siga was mentioned. More and more tourists are going to the park. We call this ecotourism. This is a new field of tourism. Well, of course, relatively new to many tourists because tourists are interested with these historical spots, but this time they are interested to learn more about ecological spots. Then number two, educational workshops. More and more students, Ma'am Pauline knows this, are becoming interested with workshops on conservation issues. And a good number of them participate in habitat restoration, like planting trees, wildlife monitoring, and conservation projects. And for the artist inclined, many are interested to capture the beauty of nature while raising awareness about conservation, especially with photography today. And then aligned to that is the preparation of documentaries. They become hosts or they attend to screenings that highlight the importance of wildlife protection. And for the more artistic kind, they express their creativity by creating work art inspired by wildlife and nature. And for those who are interested with games and athletics, they engage in games that teach about wildlife, ecosystems, and conservation. And all of us are all invited to participate in many kinds of campaign and donation, support conservation organizations financially, and help social media to spread awareness and encourage action for wildlife. This is just a summary of the surveys conducted in different occasions in protecting wildlife.
Thank you, Doc Abe. No? Yes, so perhaps Doc or Sir Hendrikus, Pak Hendrikus, no? You may want to cite also some ways that families can help protect the Komodo dragons.
Yeah, but I missed some what's called there, but I agree with Dr. Abe. It's very detailed explanation about. But I want to inform you that our platform for the young people who can concern about the Komodo dragon conservations. We have a program to ranger go to school. So we have a program to educate the young people in school, so they can understand about the how to conserve the national park, how to conserve the Komodo dragon, and even in about the marine ecosystems, something like that. We have a program each week. They go to school. We go to school to teach young people, and then we still hope when the young people go to the park, just follow the regulation of the Komodo National Park, like standard operational procedure to tourist activities in the parks. I think it's enough for us to how to young people can help us to conserve the park or the Komodo dragon.
Father JM, I will show you something here. It is the Philippine eagle, driftwood. So I was able to pick this up along the seashore, washed down from the mountain, and it looks like the Philippine eagle. You can see it also on the front side and on the other side. It looks like the Philippine eagle. So what is the meaning of this? Nature's art has a hidden call to all of us. If only we can heed, we can understand, we can interpret the call of Mother Nature, crying, help, help, help the Komodo dragon, help the Philippine eagle, help 1,001 species of plants and animals. A trophy instead of the silver and the gold trophy. It is a trophy for response, trophy to hear more of the call of nature deep within us. So this is just an example. The dragon, and will place it among my collections. This is just one of my collections of driftwood art of Mother Nature.
Beautiful.
Great.
So, sir, I think we are also going to be inspired with our own protection efforts for our Philippine eagle. We are also trying to take care of the Philippine eagle.
Yes, Ma'am Pauline.
Yeah. There are more Komodo dragons, no? 3,000 plus Komodo dragons in Indonesia, but it's more sad for us here in the Philippines because there are now just 400 pairs of Philippine eagles, no? Only 400 pairs. And that's why the Philippine eagles, compared to the Komodo dragons, Philippine eagle is more critically endangered, no? So that's why we also need the help of you how you are doing these conservation efforts, no? That we could also use for our very own Philippine eagle.
I'll just try to add. Our topic touches also on legends and tales, fairy tales. When I hear butike, house lizard, I know I'll be having money arriving. So I'm very happy if I listen to very noisy house lizards and say, I have money. And then when I go out and meet a monitor lizard, which is the representation of Komodo, dragon, malas. So I don't proceed immediately. I stop for some time and then proceed with my work. When I see a snake, I say, oh, it is suerte. And so you bet in the lotto. and also in other forms of gambling. So you see, the lighter side of our topic is that human life, our culture, the quaintness of everyday living is touched by the fact that we have friends in the wild, like the Komodo dragon, like the Philippine eagle, like many others. Sometimes we don't call them as pets, but we still consider them as friends. And this is something beautiful about creation. So we respond to the principles and the philosophies of creation when we love animals, when we protect them, when we consider them all as our friends, and we guardians in one way or the other.
Okay. Yes. Thank you. So we just have 5 minutes left now. So perhaps at this point, no, it's good to share, not to share some of those tips that individuals, no, ordinary people could do, even if we will not be able to see a Komodo dragon, no, even if we will not be able to visit any of the 5 islands there in Indonesia, no, for us to be able to protect these lovely creatures, but still we can do something. Well, we are still, well, even if we are here in the Philippines, no, in our own homes, no, and I think one thing is to stop this habitat loss, no, the destruction of the habitat of the Komodo dragons, no, because that's the number one cause of the decline in the population of wildlife creatures, no, habitat loss. So how can we stop a habitat loss, no? By reducing too much consumption, perhaps, no? Especially when we consume, that means it's going to affect, no, the mountains, no, the habitats where Komodo dragons are staying, no, because we will cut down more trees, for example. We will extract more minerals, no, from these same places where the Komodo dragons are staying. So in that way, no, even the simple things like saying no to a particular thing, no, a particular consumption could already help in the conservation of these wildlife creatures.
Yes,
Okay.
we learn in integral ecology that we all have a part in caring for our common home.
Yes, and then reminder, mga mahal natin na listeners, this is actually a school on air. So I hope you took down notes and you have compiled your lessons. You may present this in your school, maybe in your community. Help us in spreading the good word. This is the essence of media, multiplier effect. So don't forget to download, to print Tatakalikasan, our lesson for today, endangered species with special feature of Komodo dragon.
So thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Manzano. The big issues for the conservation is how to encourage stakeholders to support the conservation activities, conservation program, how to involve them to deeply in our program. That is the big problem until now. Yeah, because Komodo National Park cannot what's called protect this area only by Komodo National Park. But support from the get revenue, get keuntungan apa? Get benefit from the national park, from the Komodo National Park. That is the big issues, how to encourage or involve them to the Komodo National Park program. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that, Pak Hendrikus. No, so that means that the conservation effort is not just in the hands of the national park itself, no, but it is a responsibility that is global, no. International efforts, no, is very, very much needed, no, in terms of protecting these wildlife creatures, no. So yes, that's a very, very important point, Pak Hendrikus.
Yeah, thank you.
So
Thank you, Bu Paulina and Dr. Abe and Pak Manzano. I hope maybe we'll visit Komodo National Park and sometimes in the future. Yeah, I hope
Yes.
we can meet directly in our or my area.
Especially the
Okay.
Komodo dragon is getting popular now. It's becoming
Oh
popular.
yeah,
So
yeah.
excited to meet
Already,
it one day.
yeah, already to what's called to flight directly to Komodo, not Komodo, but the town close to the national park, directly from Malaysia, Singapore, and the next from Australia directly to Labuan Bajo.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so we look forward to visiting someday as well your community there, Pak Hendrikus, no? So
I hope.
we will.
I hope.
Okay. So again, ako po ang inyong lingkod, Father J.M. Manzano ng Kapisanan ni Jesus. At kasama ko po,
Ito naman si Kaabe and Ma'am Pauline. Hello, Prof. Emoy. Will not miss you next meeting. Bye-bye sa lahat ng mga listeners natin. Good day.
magmasid, magtaka, matuto, may isip, puso't diwa ang kalikasan. Katipunang tahanan, katipunang Tatakalikasan, Radyo, Tatak.
Thank you. See you.
Init, ulan, hangin, kumakalingang kalikasan. Ating alagaan at ingatan. Kumusta na ang ating kalikasan? Pag-usapan natin ang kalagayan ng mundo at kung paano tayo makatutulong sa pagkalinga sa ating tahanan. Kasama sina Father J.M. Manzano ng Kapisanan ni Jesus at si Dr. Abel Rotor. Ito ang Tatakalikasan sa Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.